Hello, everyone, and welcome into the PHLY Phillies podcast. As we are, I wanted everybody to really hear that. We are live at Top Tomato Pizza and Bar in Center City, right here on 11th Street. Just south of Sampson, and what an awesome spot this is. Jamie Lynch, Renee Washington, and of course Renee. The reason I wanted everybody to hear that is because this show is brought to you by our friends at Miller Lite, in addition to our friends at Bet365. Find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. But big thank you to Miller Lite, Renee, for having us out here tonight at Top Tomato, an awesome spot, and it's going to be game time here in a little bit. And there's going to be $1 beer, $1 hot dogs going on. We're going to be giving out some tickets, some awesome seats, some great merch. And it's good to be out in Center City again. I love walking the city, and it was a nice little stroll to get here.
I know. Welcome back to the city, Jamie.
Yeah.
You're such a suburban guy now.
Yeah, washed old man.
It is beautiful here at Top Tomato. It's a great atmosphere. I've actually never been. This is my first time. Shout out to Top Tomato because they've got the upstairs, the downstairs. We are upstairs for anybody that's looking to find us to come hang out. We're upstairs, lots of TVs. The wings look great. I know you had some.
I crushed
Buffalo
mine.
Wings. This is awesome to see that we get to hang out here for today. So I'm thrilled for this.
Yeah, awesome spot. And there's some Phillies news, which we'll get to. Taijuan Walker obviously happened. That is a thing that we will discuss because why? I don't want to see him anymore. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. The game tonight at hand, though, is a big one. It's the Atlanta Braves coming to town. Your hated rival, the team you've kind of, come in second to, and you have a 5-game lead. And it's a 4-game series. Renee, I'm not the math guy here. You're the math expert on the show. That seems to me like a pretty big series.
Yeah, the math is mathing. I mean, the Phillies came into the month of August with a 6.5-game lead, and we have been holding on to that lead by a thread. And to have this 4-game series where you're up by 5 games, you have to go out, and there's a lot of implications for this. And we'll get into the importance of this series in terms of playoffs, but also just to maintain that lead. If you do not win more than like 2 games, I'm not even gonna talk about getting swept or anything, but if you don't at least split this series, that's trouble heading into the last stretch of the regular season. Not to mention, this is the last time the Phillies face the Braves in regular season play, so there's a lot on the line for this series. It starts tonight. Thankfully, it starts tonight with Cristopher Sanchez and not Taijuan Walker on the mound, but this is a huge series for them.
Are we able to forget about yesterday happening yet? Have we forgotten?
What was
Because I kind of neuralized myself there.
I don't know.
Forgot that even happened.
I don't know what you're
Thank God it
referring
was
to.
an off day for the Phillies.
Yeah, I don't remember any Phillies games yesterday.
Yeah,
actually.
We'll get into the starting lineups in a minute, but tonight's game is Cristopher Sanchez, as you mentioned, versus Charlie Morton. Really interesting Charlie Morton fact I'll give you in a minute. But Cristopher Sanchez, we know the difference between home and road Sanchez. He did give you a good start out west last road trip. Other than that, he struggled on the road. He's phenomenal at home. His splits on the year, he has a 2.18 ERA at home versus a 5.43 on the road. His opponent's batting average, he holds to 2.17 at home, 3.24 on the road. It's just substantially better, Cristopher Sanchez tonight versus Charlie Morton, the old vet, the former Philly for what? Was that 1 game? Was that his first game that he got hurt on, or was it the second game first pitch? The former Philly legend, Charlie Morton himself, who has a 4.24 ERA and is 7-7 on the year with 133 strikeouts. So I would say advantage Cristopher Sanchez being that the game's at home and not in Fulton County.
Yeah, huge advantage.
Fourth
huge
game, Charlie
advantage
Morton got
for Cristopher Sanchez. As you mentioned how spectacular he's been at home. A big reason why he's an all-star is because of his play at Citizens Bank Park. So back at home with a game that starts the series that's going to have like a playoff vibe to it. I know we said that last series, but this one is absolutely going to be that. And for the month of August, we know how great we've been seeing Cristopher Sanchez pitch again. He's been special. He needed to kind of reset, I feel like, after the rut that everybody went through, and to have his complete game, to have the last game that he pitched, which was actually against the Braves also. In that game, he was able to throw for 6 innings and gave up 9 hits, 3 earned runs for Cristopher Sanchez. Another chance to go up against the Braves, and for him to be back at home against the Braves now, I definitely would think this pitching matchup favors Sanchez. Plus, right now, I think he's just pitching on a different level. You saw it in the complete game. We've been seeing it as the season progresses, the belief, the confidence, the consistency that you're getting from him, that he's a number 4 that for many teams would be like a 1 or 2.
Oh, he could, yeah. He's definitely a 3 on other teams, could potentially scratch 2s, in terms of some teams around the league. But our friends at Bet365 agree. The Phillies are a -165 favorite. On the money line tonight, you can get the Braves at +140 there. So the Phillies are a substantial favorite. The starting lineup tonight, pretty standard Phillies lineup. This is going to be your playoff lineup. Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Alec Boehm, Nick Castellanos, Bryson Stott, JT. Well, Stott and JT may flip-flop by the time the playoffs come around. Marsh, Hayes, and, of course, Cristopher Sanchez. So that's your Phillies lineup. Your Braves lineup. Do you have any Whit Merrifield fear, Renee? Do you think he's going to come in?
First of all, the fans are going to boo Whit Merrifield.
Game off.
Yeah, the fans are going to boo Whit Merrifield. Whit Merrifield, even on the fantasy baseball, he's like one of the highest added players across the league right now because he has been playing really well as of late. It really kind of started last time the Phillies faced the Braves that we saw like the best series. He got extra base hits. He did all these firsts for 2024 in August, which says a lot about how he's been playing lately. So he's going to get booed, but I do think I hope this is a chance to have him simmer down. Like last series, he got the last laugh, but now it's the Phillies' turn to strike back. It's a different Phillies team than he saw just, 5 days ago.
Yeah, Whitley's probably going to hear it some tonight, and I'm not going to fan police anyone. Do what you want. You paid the ticket. You paid the money to go into the stadium tonight.
If you want to boo, boo away.
Let it rip. If you feel it down in your loins, if you feel it's right, let him have it. But he's leading the game off tonight. Whit Merrifield, Jorge Soler in the 2-hole, Marcell Ozuna, that turd, in the 3-hole, Matt Olson, he's pretty good in the 4-hole, Travis d'Arnaud, Ramon Laureano, Michael Harris, Orlando Arcia, and Luke Williams is the lineup for the Braves tonight. I would actually save the boos for Orlando Arcia and just give him a nice...
You can boo both.
You can, but if you're going to want to like really feel one, I'd rather Arcia gets the brunt of it.
So I could see Whit gets... Yeah, listen, Arcia's earned the boos, especially after that...
Yeah.
Fake stare down that was not a stare down, that was absolutely a stare down with the Bryce in a regular season game that you then turn around and lost. That's not redemption from the playoff stare down with Bryce Harper. That's not redemption from Attaboy Harper. He is earning some boos. A lot of guys in this lineup, to be honest, have earned some boos, but I think you can give like a nice light boo to Whit and then go all in on Orlando, but they both deserve to be booed, let's be honest.
Yeah. This is a huge series. There is going to be a little bit of a playoff atmosphere down at the ballpark tonight. Back to the Charlie Morton fun fact I promised you. Charlie Morton is now currently 9th all-time on the hit batters list by a pitcher of all time, and he is skyrocketing up. He is the largest distance a large distance between him and second place of hit batters as a pitcher. And Renee, he can very quickly rise the ranks to beat Randy Johnson all time. So look for Charlie Morton to hit some guys tonight. He has 184 in his career. And I'm not going to give him too much crap about it because the guy he's hit the most in his career is Pete Alonso. So I actually want to kind of applaud that a little bit. He's hit Pete Alonso 5 times in his career. That's tied for the most, but we won't name the other guy.
Yeah, Pete Alonso, who just passed Mike Piazza for 3rd most home runs in Mets history. But listen, when you look at that number, I like that. Somebody's going to be getting hit by a pitch. Just brace yourself and be ready for it.
With 3 more hit by pitches, he moves up to 7th all time. So, there's a lot to play for tonight.
I think that's one that you can bet on for sure because I think it's going to happen. But I like the fact that when you look at this matchup, there's so much on the line, and I think that with where the Phillies have been at this stretch of the season, you kind of need this. Like, they locked in both Dodgers series. We saw them lock in. Like, you need this. They rise to the occasion. It's 4 games. It's a 5-game lead. You're back at home. You know after this, this is, I won't say the last because the schedule doesn't ever get easier. It's still professional baseball. But it does change after this. This is it. You have to go all in and make sure that you're dialed in starting game 1. And so I feel like, especially with the Braves having the upper hand on the Phillies currently in the season series, they know what's at stake. They know they got to take care of business.
This is the biggest series of the year.
It is.
It's probably the biggest series remaining on the schedule because it's the difference of, a 2 or 3 game lead where things get tight and you start thinking bad thoughts versus, a maybe 6 or 7 game lead.
Yeah.
It can really kind of decide the division here. So, it's like in the NFL season, each week the next game is the most important game of the year. I think you can say without a doubt this is the Phillies' most important series of the year because of who it is, because of you being at home. You're kicking off the series, with Sanchez, who's great at home. The offense has come back to life. This is an enormous series. And the Braves are, kind of down bad. 2 or 3 of these guys in the lineup weren't with them a month and a half ago. And these are a lot of kind of Band-Aid pieces. So you want to kick the crap out of this team.
But with that, the Braves are actually 9-2 in their last 11 games. They are scoring 4.82 runs per game.
I hate it.
Their starting pitchers are 4-0 with a 2.10 ERA in those 11 games. And in the last 17 games, their starters have an ERA of 2.42. And much like the Phillies, they also have a good amount of success when their starters go deep. When their starters go 6 or more innings, they're 43-21. Not 30 straight like the Phillies when their pitchers go 7 or more. But this is huge because as you look at the fact that the Braves have now won 6 of the 9 games against the Phillies coming into today. It is a 4-game series, so as much as it's just as important to keep this NL East lead, you also need to make sure, with the way that tiebreakers have changed and the postseason has changed, you want to see if you can not sweep, at least get 3 wins out of this. You got to win this series.
3-1 is obviously a sweep is always awesome, but 3-1 should be the goal.
Correct.
In a coward 4-game series. The Nerd Research Department just texted in an update on Charlie Morton. Tyler, would you like to take that fun Charlie Morton fact away?
Why not? So I sent you guys this. Charlie Morton has hit double-digit batters in his career 11 times. He's also led Major League Baseball 4 separate seasons in hit by pitches. He is also the third one, that 11 double-digit number. He has hit double digits in 4 consecutive years in 7 of his last 8 years. The only time he did it was in 2020 when he only made 9 starts.
Well, if you're going to be known for something, I guess that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats, I guess.
Yeah. Congratulations on all your success there of hitting guys. But the point of the story from The Athletic was that he's like a great guy, and he feels so bad every time he does it, and he goes out of his way to apologize to the player, like in the game.
Over 100 times.
He said 184 times, and I felt bad about it 184 times. And everybody said he's just a great guy, so nobody takes offense when he actually hits you.
I do want to shout out those in the chat. We've got Lauren, Seth, Sean, Filthy F, everybody that's tuned in live right now with us on Twitter, on YouTube, talking about Witt, of course, saying that Witt never really tried hard while he was here. Listen, this group in general.
He tried hard. He was cooked.
Yeah, I just don't. For whatever reason, he just got to Atlanta. And I think part of it was because Atlanta is so down bad, to be honest. You have a chance to go into a club that's has a lot of injuries, missing a lot of pieces, and they're scrambling looking for some guys to step up. Whereas with the Phillies, he was a utility piece. He wasn't a top 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Yeah, he's playing regularly there.
Yeah,
Maybe he's able to stay in rhythm.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that makes a difference because he's got a little bit more. He's got more value there versus here in Philly where he was just it was a new role for him in his career, and you saw JT coming out of the injury there, and how long it took him to get his timing back. I would imagine if you don't have an opportunity every day, like you're accustomed to, it's probably going to take you some time. I have no hate for Whit Merrifield in my heart. I don't really care. But who's a guy that there's probably going to be some sports hatred in your heart about? Taijuan Walker. Dun, dun, dun.
Seems like a very nice guy. His teammates really seem to like him. I really thought yesterday's performance from Taijuan Walker was the last time we were going to see Taijuan Walker. And it comes out today from Rob Thompson that no, Renee, not so quick. You're going to see him again, maybe somehow in some role. But Taijuan Walker is getting moved to the bullpen. I would imagine he is nothing more than the lowest of low leverage guys. So when a Colby Allard does get lit up, or a Michael Mercado or PHLY Phillips or whoever the 5th starter is, if it gets out of control quick, hey, Taijuan, go in there and clean up the scene a little bit, give us some innings. This one's over. I kind of hate it.
Listen, we didn't even think about this as an option because as we were talking through, it was like either he's going to get another start or he's going to be DFA'd. We didn't even think about a move to the bullpen in our many, many conversations about Taijuan. So with that announcement that they're moving him, they said they're going to be calling someone up for that number 5 start. That's going to be happening Tuesday in Toronto. We also did see the movement of Junior Marte got recalled, and then Michael Mercado got sent back, an option to Lehigh Valley.
Could have told you that one was coming.
Yeah, like we also saw Michael Mercado. He hasn't pitched well in any of his last few call-ups that he's had. So for Taijuan Walker specifically, though, you don't need him. And I think he's honestly just worked himself into a Jose Ruiz situation. It's a shame you're spending so much money on a guy that's going to be a low-leverage bullpen arm. But he's going to be like a Jose Ruiz. And to be honest, Jamie, my first thought was, he's also now your new Garrett Stubbs. He's replaced Garrett Stubbs in the bullpen lineup. In the event that you ever have a game where you don't want to put another bullpen
Weston
arm out
Wilson's
there,
role last night.
Instead of Weston Wilson, instead of Garrett Stubbs, it's now going to be Taijuan Walker. You're spending millions and millions of dollars on a guy that's going to come out and pitch once in a while if the game is completely over one direction or the other. But I think it was their temporary step because they probably are not really sure, but they had to figure out something right now while they figure out long-term what Taijuan's
I did have the thought today of the terrible off-season words of, well, there was an injury, and, well, we believe with the off-season a rehab.
I'm nervous about that.
And you could just bring him to spring training and move on from him then, but, like, I don't know if they want to do that. Is that fair to him? Who knows? I thought we were done with it yesterday, but
it's like just break up the relationship. It's over. It's not going anywhere.
It's not me. It's all you.
It's not going anywhere.
We
We're
just gotta break this up.
out. Let's end this now. But I do feel like this is their way of like slowly parting ways with him, and they're gonna drag this out, unfortunately. But at least he's moved to the bullpen for now, and we don't have to see him start in the near future.
Yeah, Tyler, you can chime in here with the stats you just texted us, but I had a buddy text me earlier today his thoughts, and he said, oh, Taijuan Walker, the guy that gets lit up every first inning. The bullpen should be great for him. Tyler, would you like to share the stats you just shared?
That was my initial thought, too, is he for 2 years now, even when he pitched adequately in the beginning of 2023, the first inning was his big hiccup. The first inning was his struggles, and we expanded just to this year. You can expand it through the first time through the order. You don't even have to just say the first inning. So the first time through the order this year, in 30 2/3 innings, he's given up 15 earned runs, and opposing offenses are slashing 276, 333, 448 against him. Guys, I don't know what kind of merit there is to Taijuan Walker being a bullpen piece if he struggles to even settle in.
Yeah.
I just think it's a Band-Aid move. I think in reality, and I know in the chat,
maybe they're just not embarrassing him during the season, or just going to not pitch him.
There's a million
know.
reasons why they're going to keep trying. I think this is. You needed to make a move right now. Like, yesterday was awful. You can't keep him in the starting rotation.
No,
and
you
I
couldn't.
think right now the focus is going to be on who's that number 5. Probably going to be Tyler Phillips, because on the other side, Colby Allard actually cannot be called back up until September 10th. So they're going to need somebody else to make 2 starts up until that point. So
Seth
probably Tyler Phillips, maybe Seth. But either way, you know it's not going to be Taijuan. So I feel like this gives them wiggle room. Like, the priority is getting that number 5 starter locked in. And I think this is going to be a conversation they're going to be slowly having. We might see him next year, which would be terrible to do, to drag this out anymore. But I feel like they're not going to make an impulsive decision. This is a $1 million, million-plus dollar deal. Like, you're not going to just, even though it's easy for us to say, they're going to try to drag this out as best they kind of make it work.
I would just like to be put out of my misery.
Correct.
Take that dog out back, please.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's got lumps all over it. It can barely walk anymore. Old Yeller's got to go. But yeah, that's unfortunate, because when we do see him, though, I do believe the game will be over regardless. Yeah. So I guess he can't really hurt you. Maybe he can just eat up some innings.
It is Taijuan we're talking about. Last year, wasn't it his 4th inning that was bad, or the second time through the lineup? Now it's the first. It's just it's always something with Taijuan. It's not going to improve. He's also aging. He's pitched a lot of innings. So I agree. Rip the Band-Aid off. Finish, move along. But I think they're going to slow walk this. This is Rob and his staff. Do they ever do anything quick with decisions?
Not really.
No.
Yeah. And now Brandon Marsh is hitting again, and all the moves that I was pushing there for weeks, which would have been the right move at the time. And now the old baseball guy can go, hey, you don't need to overreact. You know, guys have slumps and they come out of it. So why don't you idiots in the media just shut up?
But you know what helps them get out that slump is we didn't have to see Marsh. Like when Austin Hayes came back, Brandon Marsh's role changed. And I think that was even needed. I mean, ideally, we would have loved to see him have a couple games that he sat out. But, you know, you had him more as a center fielder, maybe not. I don't know. It just hopefully this is permanent that he's out of the slump.
So we are going to be doing the post-game show, probably firing it up in the 8th inning here from Top Tomato. We got $1 beers from Miller Lite and $1 hot dogs going on during the game. Should be a good time. Taking a look at the rest of the series here tomorrow night, the 6:40 game. Tyler and I will be on at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Ronaldo Lopez versus Ranger Suarez. That's a pretty damn good pitching matchup. And then
R&R.
Saturday, Max Fried versus Zach Wheeler. A tremendous matchup there. And then, of course, Sunday, the 4th game of the Coward Series, Spencer Schwellenbach versus Aaron Nola. So, you know, Fried and Lopez are beasts. And Schwellenbach, is he going to be able to repeat such great success a second time, seeing a team so quickly? I hope not. So the Phillies should have the pitching advantage overall throughout these 4 games.
Yeah, I'm feeling a 3-1 series win for the Phillies. I think we're going to get a great series from Bryce Harper also because
he
after
seems
having...
like he's back.
Yeah, and in July, got the official numbers. We mentioned how July was a tough month for him coming out of his hamstring injury. He was splitting 149, 243, 58 with a 598 OPS, which is the lowest of any month in his career when he's had 50 or more plate appearances. In August, he swung that. It did increase to an 803 OPS, which is an improvement. His numbers have been much better as of late. I think he's going to have a big series, which will then help the Phillies win this series. And I think tonight is definitely one for the Phillies to win.
How lame would it be on Monday morning if we're doing the show and going, that was a really fun 2-game split. Doesn't it feel like you just accomplished absolutely nothing? It's the worst. Get rid of 4 and 2-game series, Rob Manfred, you coward. Somebody has to win. Somebody has to lose. Stop this nonsense.
Honestly, just don't lose the series. I'd rather them split it, of course, than lose it. But I do not like it either. You do 4 games.
Isn't that so lame if we come in Monday? Oh, Renee, that was fun. Well, they split the series.
Jamie, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you show up on Monday, you go ahead and scream into the ether because you're going to be the only one that shows up.
No, other people are with me. There's dozens of us.
No one is working on Monday.
Correct. You can show up on Monday.
You go ahead and show up.
Labor Day.
Tyler's got you. Good
You guys know me and calendars. I'm illiterate when it comes to calendars.
We will not have a show on Monday, so you can show up at the studio.
Tuesday, if we're recapping the weekend series, though, I'm going to complain about what a lame 2-2 split it was.
There's worse things that could happen this weekend to complain about. But most importantly, the Phillies have to win this series. Don't split this series, win this series. And please don't split this because we don't want to hear Jamie complaining Tuesday.
Yeah. Take it 3-1.
What are you thinking is going to be today?
Prediction today, who the hell knows? I think the Phillies take it. I'm going to go 5-3 Phils.
Okay. It's definitely been some ups and downs offensively for the Phillies. I don't think we're going to get an 11-run production tonight. I'm going to go, you said 5-3?
Yeah.
I'm going to raise your 5-3 to a 7-2 Phillies win.
Tyler,
what
do you got?
It's a little more open.
Throw a dart at the dartboard.
Yeah,
who
cares about prediction for score tonight? I'm gonna burst Jamie's bubble though. I'm gonna say this: the minimum they can do is split this series.
Oh wow!
I think they're going to split this series.
So lame.
Wow.
Here's the thing:
Raining on your parade.
4-game series against a good team that's playing some hot baseball right now, who is right on your heels of the division lead. If you get out of tonight is 29 games left in the regular season. If you get out of 29 games to 25 games and you're exactly where you started, it's not as miserable as I think people are going to look at a split. I think that this is a good Braves team who's playing good ball right now. It's some really good pitching matchups. Their backs are up against the wall. They know what's at stake. If this gets to 8, the division's practically over.
Yeah.
I think that this is going to be a 2-game. I think both of these teams win 2 games over the next 4. You're going to see a series split. Jamie's going to go to work on Monday and do a show by himself into the oblivion. So have fun, buddy.
Yeah. No worries in the chat is saying 6-5 Phillies. I could see this being a close game. I just feel like after yesterday, the offense is going to explode. You're going to have redemption from Taijuan Walker Day with a great Cristopher Sanchez day. A split series could make sense, unfortunately. But I'm still going to go a 3-1 series win for the Phillies.
All right, we'll be back here from Top Tomato in Center City, right on 11th Street, just south of Sampson. We got great $1 Miller Lite cans, $1 hot dogs going on during the game. We're going to be giving out some signed memorabilia and some sweet game tickets as well. So hopefully we meet some of you diehards tonight, but we'll be on live after the game for the post-game show here. And thanks to our friends at Miller Lite and Bet365 for making this happen today. And
Yes.
Go Phils. See you after the game, everyone.
We all silly like the mayor.